This is SMSTV, part of the Student Television Network.
Hello everyone and welcome to SMSTV. On today's program we are going to be talking about
the Aladdin play in school. I'm Maddie.
And I'm Talana. Welcome to the third season of SMSTV.
Aubrey and Taylor did a story on the Aladdin play.
A lot of students that watched it said it was really good. Let's watch their story.
So the musical is about Aladdin. It's about this poor homeless guy who falls in love with the princess.
Falls in love, finds a magical lamp,
and he gets 3 wishes. One of his wishes is to become a prince, and he ends up becoming a princess's suitor.
defeats an evil advisor, and sees all his dreams come true.
So last year, a lot of people didn't take it too seriously until the end. They're starting to get more serious about it because Miss Chloe and Mr. Allen are being a little bit more serious.
And sometimes you come into problems with them, but we always figure it out and it works pretty well.
It's also kind of nerve-wracking because you're depending on them so much.
The most stressful part about the play, especially for me because I'm a main character, is learning all the lines because there's a lot.
Memorizing lines is probably the most stressful part.
I feel like one of the most stressful parts about the play is possibly if you don't know all your lines, or you have to buy part of your costume and it hasn't come yet. An average day at practice is usually going over all of the scenes or songs. Or going over lines and practicing scenes that we haven't really done yet.
Miss Cooley will ask us to get started. Sometimes we'll run through our songs just to make sure we know all the lyrics. We now have all of our choreography down, so sometimes we'll run through our choreography before we actually run the scenes. And then we have specific scenes that we need to run through each day to get done.
An average day would probably consist of going over either a couple scenes or the music in the show.
It's a lot of homework. The practice doesn't stop once you go home. You have to go home, go into Google Classroom, work on your songs, get out your book, memorize your lines.
You need to know your scenes when you come in and when you go off stage, and you need to know the songs and the music.
It's a lot of fun. It's definitely a team effort, and I think it's totally worth it.
You get to dress up and just be a part of something that ends up turning out really cool.
I went and watched the play. It was really good. Did you go and watch it?
Yes, I was really impressed. It was great.
Next up is a story on school by Tony and Gisela.
My feelings and thoughts about school is that personally I like it because it's the one time in the day I get to see my friends, and it's really fun for me.
In general, I like school because I come to work every day and get to spend time with kids and teach them things and try to make the future a better place.
It's about school. School for me when I was younger meant a lot. It was a safe spot. It meant that I was going to have food, and I'll have education and light and heat and all the things that made things good. School is important. We want kids to be able to read and write and learn and grow.
It could affect somebody in a bad way or a good way. In a bad way because there's a lot of bullying in this environment, in a good way because it helps them with their knowledge.
I think it's huge. Either way, it can go either way with school. Sometimes kids need to come to school to escape a bad situation, and sometimes it just gives them a release to be away from bad things.
School can positively and negatively affect people. Unfortunately, sometimes negative things happen in the school or in the halls from other students, so bullying is a problem. However, school can also really encourage and help kids find what they're really interested in, which could be, something from my tech class. It could be something from a totally random class like math, but all of a sudden a kid has a purpose and they now know what they're going to be doing in high school or in college area and beyond.
I think school can always get better on trying to make it a funner experience for kids and make it more realistic for when they get out in the real world, but yeah, it can always get better.
When I have a hard time in class, I just try to focus on myself and the things that I'm doing and not the stuff that's going on around me.
When I'm having a hard day, usually I just try to think of why I got into teaching and think about that even though if I have kids that are being rude or disrespectful, there's always kids that do need me to show up, and so that's what I think about is them.
When I'm having a hard time in class, I usually just ask the teacher for help or go to my counselors to talk about it with them.
The positives in school is that you get to learn stuff so you can have a better job and career when you're older.
I feel like positives in school is that they're educating you, or at least trying to, and you get to see people and make friends and stuff.
Good things about school is once again the bullying. So I think I'd try to work on that to get less bullying in school.
I think the negatives is the way kids act kind of nowadays. It's as I've been teaching for 22 years. It's really hard to to figure out the way some kids want to learn. So I just try to think outside the box and think of better ways for kids to learn.
School is so important. Sometimes we get tired of it, but it's beneficial.
I agree. Right now I'm definitely ready for summer, but I'm thankful we can go to school and have an education.
Well, that's a wrap, everyone. Thank you for watching SMSTV.
Have a great day, Desert Hawks. We'll see you next time on
SMSTV.